Attorney Kaufman, good morning. How are you today?
I'm well, had a bit of a break, 2 weeks away, but I'm fine.
How is our beloved former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, sir?
Well, I've just come out from seeing him. He's in good spirits as usual.
Sir, I have a series of questions. My first one is that the ICC plenary unanimously rejected former President Duterte's request to disqualify 2 judges. What is your reaction to this decision, sir?
I trust the judges, and I trust the judges took the decision that they took for the right reasons. I have no reason to doubt them. Furthermore, new information has come to light, which I'm not at liberty to disclose, but it would have made a difference had I known about it before I made the request to disqualify the judges.
Okay.
Ayon kay Attorney Kaufman, naniniwala siya sa naging desisyon ng korte sa pag-reject nito sa request nilang tanggalin ang 2 judges. Anya, wala umano siyang rason para pagdudahan ng korte.
Sir, what does this outcome suggest about the ICC's impartiality and the integrity of its judicial process, especially in politically sensitive cases like this?
I'm not going to impugn the impartiality or the partiality of the International Criminal Court. As far as I'm concerned, the judges are doing their job as they're expected to do, given their mandate under the Rome Statute. I have no reason whatsoever to doubt their integrity.
Ayon kay Attorney Kaufman, ginagawa ng korte ang kanilang trabaho nang naaayon sa Rome Statute at wala umano siyang rason para pagdudahan ng integridad ng korte.
Sir, if the investigation proceeds and leads to prosecution, what legal consequences could President Duterte realistically face under international law?
Well, I'm hoping that this case won't proceed to prosecution because we have a confirmation hearing, first of all, and we have a number of live issues which we're litigating at the present moment in time. So I suggest we cross that bridge when we come to it.
Sir, would you know that if there's really a clear timeline regarding the adjudication of the motion for the interim release?
I would hope that within a month it would be decided. As I said, we've currently in the process of making our request for leave to reply. We hope to be able to reply to the prosecution's response to our request for interim release, and then the judges will rule. Under the Rome Statute, the judges are meant to rule on a request for interim release as speedily as possible.
Ayon kay Attorney Kaufman, umaasa siyang sa loob ng 1 buwan ay mapagpasyahan na ng korte ng ICC ang kanilang request na interim release para kay PRRD. Anya, sa kasalukuyan ay nasa proseso raw sila ng paghahanda for a request for a leave to reply. Umaasa rin sila na makapagbibigay ng tugon sa sagot na pagtutol ng prosekusyon sa request nilang interim release. At saka ang hukom ay magpapasya ayon sa Rome Statute. Ang hukom ay naasahang magpasya sa kanilang kahilingan para sa interim release sa lalong madaling panahon.
Sir, in relation to that, many people in the Philippines were a bit confused with when you previously stated that the prosecution did not oppose your request for interim release, and then apparently the prosecution's response or written observation with respect to the interim release request is that they strongly oppose that. Can you clarify that, Attorney?
Once again, I stand by what I said. There was originally a non-opposition to interim release, but I'm not going to litigate the case now in the media. The case is a live issue, the matter is a live issue, before the court, and I'm not allowed to litigate it by way of social media.
Thank you, sir.
Naninindigan si Attorney Kaufman sa kanyang sinabi na wala naman talagang pagtutol sa interim release noong una at hindi na niya umano ilitigate ang kaso sa social media dahil ang naturang kaso ay aktibo at hindi siya allowed na pag-usapan nito.
There are reports claiming that Belgium and Australia declined to host former President Duterte during his interim release. What is the truth behind this?
Well, I don't know where Cristina Conti, because I guess that's who you're referring to, got that from. I'm not going to comment on any country. I'm not allowed to. These matters are confidential. But I assume that Cristina Conti, knowing the way that she thinks, has looked at the interim release agreements at the court and has decided that Belgium, because Belgium has signed an interim release treaty, is the destination or the proposed destination for President Duterte. I'm not going to comment on that. The same goes, by the way, for the Honourable Justice Minister or the Secretary for Justice in the Philippines, Mr. Remula,
Yes.
who's decided that there's a Latin American country that's prepared to receive President Duterte. Once again, I assume that he thinks we're talking about Argentina because, once again, Argentina has signed an interim release agreement with the International Criminal Court. I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay, sir.
Hindi umano alam ni Attorney Kaufman kung saan o kung kanino nakuha ni Cristina Conti ang mga iyan at hindi rin daw siya magbibigay ng komento sa kahit anong bansa dahil hindi ito allowed at ang usapin na ito ay confidential. At nag-assume siyang si Conti knowing kung paano ito mag-isip ay tiningnan nito ang interim release agreement ng korte at nagdesisyon ito na Belgium kasi nag-sign ang Belgium sa interim release agreement kaya siguro naisip nito na Belgium ang destination o proposed destination ni PRRD pero hindi na siya magkokomento ukol dito. Ganon din kay Honorable Remulla na nagspekula na sa Latin America ang nakahandang magkupkop kay PRRD. Inassume din ni Attorney Kaufman na Argentina ang spekulasyon ni Remulla dahil nga nag-sign din ang Argentina sa interim release agreement sa ICC at hindi rin siya magkokomento ukol rito.
The Department of Justice in the Philippines reportedly sponsoring witnesses in the ICC case against the President Duterte because, as you mentioned, sir, all evidence related to the former chief executive's war on crime has already been destroyed. He mentioned that. What's your comment on that?
Sponsoring witnesses to cooperate or encouraging witnesses to cooperate? I don't know. We'll investigate that matter, and if it's true, then they will be cross-examined, those witnesses, in court, and these allegations will be put to them.
Ayon kay Attorney Kaufman, ang pag-sponsor o pag-encourage ng witnesses to cooperate ay hindi pa niya alam ang tungkol dito. Pero iimbestigahan nila ito at kung ito man ay totoo, ang mga naturang witnesses ay i-cross-examine ng korte at itong mga aligasyon ay ibibigay sa kanila.
Hindi naman. Alam mo yan, international tribunal yan. And sabi ko nga, 9581, we already chose not to pursue the cases and let the ICC pursue these cases. Given that, it becomes also our obligation to help them because we are giving up our jurisdiction for their jurisdiction. Kasi nga, ang hirap na i-prove yung case dito. At i-build up ang kaso dahil yung mga kailangan mong magsalita ay kasama sa krimen. Kaya
Sir, pertaining to the interim release, the annex terms and conditions, specifically paragraph 32, mentions that President Duterte will refrain from public engagement, holding office, and communicating with individuals outside his family. How does this affect the mandate given to him by the people of Davao as their newly elected mayor?
I look at the events in Davao and the elections as something else entirely. I view it as a vote of support for President Duterte, the former president, and I view it as a rejection of what was done to him by the current incumbent government. I don't view that as a mandate to rule Davao. Yes, of course, if he was released, then he would rule Landau, but he's not. He's sitting here in a prison. Physically, he is not able to govern at the present moment in time. It would be irresponsible for him, and he has told me that.
Ayon kay Attorney Kaufman, sinabi raw sa kanya ni PRRD na magiging irresponsable kung mamamalakad siya sa Davao City. Physically, hindi pa niya magagampanan ang mandato ng mga residente ng Davao City na pamunuan sila bilang mayor ng kanilang lungsod dahil nga sa ngayon ay nakadetain pa siya sa ICC.
Are there already arrangement for his oath-taking?
I'm not going to comment on that matter.
Okay. Who is exactly considered outside his family in the context of the interim release, sir?
Well, interim release, once again, is a matter which has to be decided. And also the scope of people who are in his family will also be decided.
Ayon kay Attorney Kaufman, ang interim release ay hindi pa napagdedesisyonan ng korte. Naitanong rin ni Sir Alvin na kung sino ang maaaring makasalamuha ni PRRD bukod sa kanyang pamilya pag nag-grant na ang interim release. Ayon kay Attorney Kaufman, ang usapin na ito ay pagdidesisyonan pa kung sino sa mga miyembro ng pamilya ang maaaring makasama si PRRD sa kanyang interim release.
Sir, could appeals or objections from civil society groups or international organization influence the court's decision on the urgent interim release motion?
The victims have a right to make their voice heard, and they can comment on the application for interim release. And the court has already ordered the victims to make their observations known. They do that through a dedicated office in the court, which is called the OPCV, and the OPCV has responded.
Sir, in this particular question, should the Philippines is already a non-member state of the ICC, to the Rome Statute. Is it legally possible for it to voluntarily offer to host President Duterte during his interim release?
Even non-state parties can host persons who are on interim release from the International Criminal Court, should the court approve it. Obviously, we would want President Duterte to go back to the Philippines. But if I'm not mistaken, the government has already stated, point blank, that it's not prepared to receive him.
Kahit hindi member state party, ay pwede raw mag-host ng mga taong naka-interim release sa ICC kung ito ay aayunan ng korte. Gusto raw nila maibalik si PRRD sa Pilipinas, pero kung hindi siya nagkakamali, sinabi ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas na hindi ito handang tanggapin si PRRD.
Will the public eventually be informed, sir, about which government or governments, if any, has expressed willingness to receive President Duterte should interim release be granted?
I anticipate that that could be the case in due course, indeed.
Sir, this question is highly political. Has your meeting with Senator Amy Marcos had any direct or indirect bearing on President Duterte's case before the ICC? Or if you're able to share what was the nature of or the purpose of your meeting?
I'm able to share that. It was me who asked to see Senator Amy Marcos. I wanted to see her because I saw her in action in the committee hearings. I was impressed by what she had to say. I was impressed by the way she handled those hearings. And I was impressed also by the conclusions and the report that she produced. So I asked to meet her in order to receive that report. And I did.
Thank you, sir. Sir,
And by the way,
yes, go ahead.
that report hasn't been published on the Senate website. I wonder why.
Tinanong ni Sir Alvin kay Attorney Kaufman kung meron bang malaking epekto ang pagkikita nila ni Senator Amy Marcos sa kaso ni PRRD. Ayon pa kay Attorney Kaufman, siya ang nakiusap na magkita sila ni Senator Amy Marcos dahil nga napahanga siya sa naging aksyon nito sa committee hearing. Dagdag pa ni Attorney Kaufman, na-impress siya sa paghawak ni Senator Amy Marcos sa naturang hearing, lalo na sa naging konklusyon at report nito sa resulta ng hearing.
Thank you, sir. Is it legally realistic for former President Duterte to seek any form of remedy or protection under Dutch domestic law while under the jurisdiction of ICC?
Well, I
Or
think I
per se
know where that comes
jurisdiction,
from. There's some Filipino lawyer who suggested that he might be able to seek remedies under Dutch law. That's not the case.
Sir, the last question. Is it common for the Office of the Prosecutor to express no opposition to a motion such as the interim release? Or is this unusual and specific only to the President Duterte's case?
As I've said, in the past, it's possible in offences against justice cases. However, would be the first time if the prosecution do follow through on their original non-opposition, which was stated to me for one particular topic. If they follow through on that, that would be the first time in an Article 5 case involving atrocity crimes or alleged atrocity crimes that the prosecution will express non-opposition to interim release, yes.
Attorney Kaufman, do you have any message to the Filipino people who is closely following the development of the case of President Duterte?
Yes, I do. As I said, respect the judicial process. A lot of gossip, a lot of allegations have been made, especially by people like Attorney Cristina Conti, that the supporters of former President Duterte are threatening witnesses or trolling judges. That is simply not true. Just respect the judicial process.
Thank you, Attorney Kaufman. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.